What's up guys, it's Coach Donny from Elevate Yourself. This is a special video because the Chinese 9-man volleyball national tournament is taking place in San Francisco this year at the Moscone Center. So if you're around Labor Day weekend, make sure you stop by the Moscone Center to check us out. But I wanted to make this video because I wanted to feature the San Francisco Chinatown area, which is really dear to my heart. I grew up coming here as a kid to get Chinese groceries before there was Ranch 99, Lion City, and all the other Asian stores we have now. I want to give you guys a little tour of some of my favorite places to eat, have dessert, and just hang out. So I know you guys are going to enjoy this tour. Also, special shout out and thanks to the man behind the camera and the person editing this video, my good friend Jack Zhang from the volleyball community as well. Make sure you check out his social media and YouTube, and we'll talk more about his stuff later in this video. We got the tracking going on and track this large Chinese head here. Also, I was contemplating purposely growing this out a little bit, honor my ancestors. I think I only have probably like 72 strands, so not that many to spare, but I got to do it for the video. So now we're just walking through the official entrance that you guys saw back there. First, we got to get some food because when you come to San Francisco Chinatown, Capital Restaurant is usually the first place I like to go to for what I call Chinese chicken crack, because it is addictive, but it's actually their fried chicken wings. So when I usually come to Chinatown, I actually don't enter from that gate. I usually park in St. Mary's Garage, just down the street off of California, and I recommend parking there too. It's generally pretty affordable. You can park on the street, but street parking in San Francisco is really tricky. There's so many signs, it can get confusing, and it's very easy to get towed if you don't know the rules. And when I enter Chinatown, the cathedral is kind of my entry point, and that's how you know you're getting ready to visit all the restaurants and all the shops. So when you cross the street, even if the signal is actually good, there is no such thing as right away. My grandparents and great-grandparents were born in Toisan, which is in the Canton province in China, and then during the World War they fled to Hong Kong, and that's where my parents grew up. But I was born here, so please don't judge me on my subpar Chinese. Luckily, like a lot of Asian families, my grandparents babysat me when I was a kid, so they helped raise me while my parents were working, and I have vivid memories of speaking Cantonese with them when I was a kid, and then once we started going to school and started learning English, and it was all over. But luckily my grandparents are still alive. I have grandma left, so I still have opportunities to practice my Cantonese. I try to speak a little bit with my parents, but definitely my papa, who's my mom's mom, so I have another opportunity to practice speaking, but my accent's probably not very good, but I do my best to stay connected with my culture, but more importantly, learn how to order food and ask where the bathroom is. As long as I got those things, then I'm good. If you are also struggling to speak your language, whether it's Chinese, Hindi, Spanish, don't feel embarrassed to try to practice it. People are going to tease you, but who cares? As long as you know you're doing the right thing by trying to stay connected as best as you can to your heritage, that's really all that matters. So now we're going to walk through an iconic park, Willy Woo Woo Wong Playground. This is where we used to have a lot of our local 9-man tournaments. So we're going to walk through here. It's revamped, so if you have a family, bring them here. Super fun. This is where we work up an appetite before we go to our first restaurant. What's up? Sure, what's your name?
Ivan.
Ivan, nice to meet you. That's cool that you guys have a playground here. I didn't know they had a volleyball court installed. What's up, guys? So this is where the second court for our Chinatown tournaments. We usually have a men's court here and then a women's court here, but it's really cool that since they revamped it, they installed permanent poles. Before, we used to have to tie these strings and go super ghetto against that cage and against that light pole. Surprised we didn't bring down that light pole on us. But now they got a dedicated court, and you can see people can play year-round without having to set up their own net. So this is a really good part to develop the volleyball and the Chinatown community. This is a new fence here, which is really nice, but I actually missed the chain link fence because that's where all the Chinatown grandma and grandpas would hang on the fence and watch us play. Bunch of pigeon poop, cigarette butts, just brings back good memories. And one of the beauties of walking through some of the Chinatown alleys is you get some really enjoyable perfume, also known as secondhand smoke. That's how you know you're in the right spot. So we're gonna walk by a contributor of the lung health, the tolerance we're trying to develop.
This is how you know your food is good.
Yes. Chef break. And we're gonna hit our first stop, the world famous Capital Restaurant, the best chicken wings. I usually don't say the best because that's a big statement, but no joke. I don't think I can overhype this place. There's a bunch of celebrities I've eaten here.
San Francisco.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know, maybe he heard the word capital too. Now it's time to order at Capital Restaurant. They have a really simple menu here, and we brought Jack along to try some of the food. They're known for their fried chicken wings. I already said that, but I'm so excited to try it. If you want to try other food, their beef and asparagus is really good. Their bitter melon and beef, the fried flounder, their cod with vegetable. I mean, honestly, everything that you can eat is pretty solid here. This is not a restaurant that only makes one good item, but I would say all of it's pretty solid. Even the walnut prawns is pretty good. We'll just keep it at that. that, but we're just gonna try the chicken wings first today.
But I would say the chicken wings are the ones you want. When you play 9-man here, your hands are all dirty. You just grab a chicken wing. Don't worry about it. It builds immunity.
Yes.
And you just lick your fingers afterwards, clean it off.
Yeah, a little extra dirt on the chicken wings never hurt anybody. So here's a trick. When you're at a Chinese restaurant, you have to flag them down probably 3 or 4 times just to get napkins and ice water. I already tried to flag them down once to order. We'll see if I can get them on the second try. But by the way, if this happens to you, this is nothing personal. This is just how it goes. 要個炸雞同埋冰水啲牛肉嚟信. So I know we talked about we're only going to get the fried chicken wings, but the beef black bean sauce with asparagus is really, really good. So
I'm ready.
All right.
My hands are not washed. It's perfect.
I gotta make sure I wipe it on the street first.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Now.
Yeah, so you know. Because it's usually.
Oh, so good. They should really have a referral program here.
Yeah. You can try my discount code Elevate, but you probably won't get 10% off.
That's the next level, man. We get sponsored by chicken.
And I usually eat this with white rice, so you see they have these toasted jalapenos. If you eat them by itself, it's really spicy. You okay? Yeah.
I forgot.
I usually eat it with white rice to dampen the spiciness, but that's pretty hot. And then we got the green onions here.
These aren't puny chicken pieces. They're girthy. These are chickens that went through the Elevate Jump program.
Hitting the weights. It's so simple. It's so good. It's like toasted garlic, the jalapeno, and green onion. They probably fry that first, and then they deep fry the chicken wings. But that first crunch of every chicken wing is like the best. How does it taste compared to 5 years ago?
I think it tastes better.
So if you look here, look how thin the fried skin is compared to where the meat is. That's how you know it's not overly breaded. Actually, I don't even know if they do any breading. Maybe a little bit. It's lightly breaded. It's also not overly fried because the skin's not dark. Sometimes if the fried skin is very dark, that means they didn't change the oil or it's overly fried. What if we move that camera just so we're not in the way as much?
Coach Donny raised right by his mama, man. So polite.
Get spanked. Spanked if I'm not thinking about other people. Oh, would you guys like to try some asparagus with beef with a black bean sauce? You want to try some? It's really good. So we got the asparagus, those chops of ginger and some onion. Even though my Cantonese is not that good, my chopstick skills are really good. Look at that. Can you pick up a black bean? Oh, picked it back up though. You can eat it by yourself, but I recommend eating it with some white rice. Now we got the white rice. It's safe to eat the jalapeno with the rice.
Rice is the milk for Asians, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of us are lactose. Not me though. Are you lactose? We are the chosen ones. I used to be lactose.
Is that good?
Yeah. Then in college at Davis, I just ate cereal like every day.
Yeah.
Paid for it for like maybe the first week, and then after that, my system was like, all right, fine, you pass it.
I took an evolution class, so I learned in that class that we actually never lose the ability to produce lactase. It's just when we stop eating it, our body stops producing it. So I tested that theory because when I was in college, I was starting to get lactose intolerant. So I drank milk like twice a day, and I just had tons of gas and like the runs. But after about 1 month, I was able to tolerate it. Each month, got less and less uncomfortable, and then now I can drink milk.
So PSA for all you Asians, you can overcome this too.
That's really where Elevate Yourself was founded, is overcoming your lactose intolerance.
Elevate your immune system. You're getting the authentic Chinatown experience here when they move you around. They don't give a crap. We're here to make money. Don't care about your convenience.
What he's referring to, I don't know if it was still recording, but we actually were sitting at another table.
You'll notice the background's different.
Very normal for Chinese restaurants to share tables like we are now with somebody else. You know, there's not a lot of space in China and Hong Kong at the time. Probably still very crowded. So sharing tables, they always ask you, is it okay if you share a table? So we shared a table with another group, and that was a larger table. And the waiter, after we're like already started eating, said, hey, can you guys move to this table because we have a bigger table of 10? So sure. They weren't rude about it, they just asked. But that is part of the experience. It's a privilege to be asked to move.
If you are feeling low confidence about how you look, you go to a Chinese restaurant and they call you Lin Zai Mei Nu, which means handsome boy, pretty lady. Instantly you feel better about yourself.
Chinese restaurants don't care what you look like. As long as you pay the bill, that's all that matters.
Are you telling me they don't actually think I'm handsome?
They haven't called you that yet.
They called you that.
They did?
They did.
Oh.
They did. I felt a little bit offended. I'm like, I'm right here. Donny and I played played high school volleyball together, and we used to get in trouble a lot because we used to joke around. So we've done a lot of laps and liners.
Yeah, we made a video. This is 2012.
Some of you guys weren't born yet.
If you know that video, comment below because you are like a super OG fan. It's just what happens when he and I get in a volleyball court. We don't always do volleyball things.
I feel like if I were to play right now, I would do all those things just naturally.
Yeah.
Kids, remember to stretch. I didn't do it when I was younger because I thought I'm immortal.
Yeah.
Really paid for that. My college years and afterwards.
It's always a nice treat when you get to eat those chicken wings, and did not anticipate to order the asparagus, but Jack, man, you killed that dish. So we're gonna get a little dessert at one of our other favorite bakeries that my wife and I like to go to. Majority of these places that we'll be going to, I actually don't even know the names because I just come here so often that I just know how to get here by heart. So I'm gonna try to learn the names so you can actually look it up in case you want to take an Uber here or just generally drive here. Another way that a lot of the locals get their hustle on is sometimes you'll see grandmas and grandpas, they'll be collecting recyclable goods. So anytime you have like a can or a water bottle and you see them collecting stuff, I always encourage you guys to empty it out, make sure it's clean and give it to them because that's how they make their living. Just really admire their work ethic. It reminds me a lot of my grandparents that no matter what environment they're in, they're gonna find a way to make ends meet and support the family. As we walk by these shops, they might smell kind of funny, but don't be alarmed. They're just either fermented goods or dried goods that have been preserved. So just think about walking like you're walking by a cheese shop. It's not gonna smell that good, but it's gonna taste amazing. But more importantly, if you want to contribute to the local economy, a lot of these shops have teas and different types of candies and treats, so I highly recommend spending your money here just to keep this place alive. The AA Bakery and Cafe. They probably put AA so it shows up first in the phone book. OG business. So these are the traditional ones, almond cookies, some French pastries. Oh, these are really good. So these are probably curry chicken or curry beef or pork. And then another really popular pastry are these rolls for all the aunties and uncles. Now we're starting to get into some of the Asian cakes. Now, my personal favorites, we got the red bean and coconut jelly.
No,
It's all good. It happens. By the way, they don't give dirty forks. Here's some funny backstory. We actually already ate 3 desserts, but we realized we weren't recording. So we're like, we have to eat 2 more desserts. I'm already really full, but hey, when there's fresh dessert involved, this is their naiwan bao, which is like a custard in the middle with a little flakiness on top. And they said they just brought this out, and you can kind of feel how warm it is. So we want to eat this first before we show you the second dessert. That's like the heart-sinking feeling, and it happens
To the best of us?
Yes.
Thanks. Wow, this is so gooey.
So I think naiwang is like an egg custard. So if your Cantonese is better than mine, correct me on that.
I feel like it's gonna burn my mouth.
Yeah, do it. Burn it.
No.
Dude, it is hecka hot. Are you sure you didn't burn it? Oh, shoot.
I'm so disappointed in myself. I don't have feelings anymore.
I don't think I've ever had it this fresh before. Wow.
Do you like all the background noise? It's not noise, it's music.
Man, this is really good. So you got this flaky crust on the top. And there's a lot of ways that they prepare naiwan bao. There's the steamed kind, where it's just white on the outside and the egg custard. And then I think this is probably the baked kind, where it's got the crust on the outside, a little bit more doughy, but
I like the light crunch on the top. I'm a huge fan of crunchiness and softness at the same time, because it reflects who I am.
crunchy.
Crunchy, but crunchy on the outside, but I'm really sensitive on the inside.
And by the way, any bakery that says just something came out, it's like going to a seafood restaurant and say the fresh catch of the day. I always recommend getting whatever they say, because I was going to choose something else, but they said this came out of the oven, and you always got to double check too. Sometimes they say it just to sell it, but it was actually straight out of the oven.
You saw it. Way over my calories.
Yeah.
Only Coach Donny to train me.
Especially since we already ate 3 desserts before this for not filming. Now this is really refreshing on a hot day because it's very cold, and the red bean, I don't think they add any extra sweetener. It's just the natural sweetness of the red bean.
It's better the second time. We didn't record again.
Usual order, you get your savory meal, then you get a little dessert, and you guys know me, I like to finish off on some milk tea. Now specifically, we're gonna go to a place with Hong Kong style milk tea. The cool thing about this cafe is their soy milk is actually really good. Hong Kong milk tea compared to what most people drink is, most people drink boba, it's like Taiwanese style, so still pretty strong tea, but Hong Kong style milk tea is extremely concentrated. It's like the equivalent of Vietnamese iced coffee, but then it has a little bit more depth. Cantonese, we call it wat wat day, which is like, it has a film. It's like a multi-layer experience where you get a little bit of texture from the tea. And once again, I only know how to get here by heart, so we'll learn what it's called when we actually get there. All right, here we go. This place is called Cafe New Honolulu. I'm not sure why it's called Honolulu because I don't think there's any Hawaiian themed flavors here, but this is a typical Hong Kong cafe. Hello. All right, learn why. So they have a bunch of food items here that you can get to. So very common for Hong Kong style cafes is like their baked dishes and a little bit of history behind the Hong Kong cafe culture. From that time period, they formed a lot of fusion foods. So that's why you have like a baked spaghetti with meat sauce. Even the Hong Kong style milk tea, you have a really strong tea flavor, but then you have the condensed milk and the evaporated milk. Half the reason why I come here is partly for the Hong Kong style milk tea, but their soybean milk, for some reason, is really good here. And it's good to have those options in case you don't want the milk tea. If you are lactose intolerant, then soybean milk is a good option. But going back to my little history lesson, so you can have your traditional stuff like their sweet and sour pork, walnut prawns, their tau fun, and spam is another popular one. So usually if your country eats spam, you've been occupied by some Western country, whether it's Britain or US. If you see like a ham sandwich or a macaroni noodle, don't be alarmed. It's still cooked by a Chinese person. It's just what was available during wartime. Those ended up becoming like comfort foods for Hong Kong people, and so that's where the Hong Kong cafe was coined.
You're so good at teaching. Did you used to teach high school or something?
Yeah, I taught high school for 11 years at my alma mater, Mission San Jose High School, but I just love to share about things I'm passionate about too. Yeah, by the way, Jack and I went to the same high school. We actually played on the same volleyball team together, and this will be a fun time to talk about like some of your favorite memories when we played together at Mission.
I think what I really enjoyed was just being the underdogs. I probably played with glasses until my senior year. That's when I finally got contact. So I looked like a straight up nerd on the court.
Yeah.
I think the game that I still remember is when we played against Logan, our rival high school. The only high school in the entire city of Union City. So they got their pick of players.
Yeah.
They were tall, they were athletic, and we were just these nerds from a predominantly Asian high school. They whooped us the first two games, and the third game we came back and won it, and we just kept chipping away, and we won in 5, and one of the players on the other team started to cry. That was probably my favorite moment. And it was just chipping off the block. I was never a high jumper. I was probably crafty, deceptive, like to tool a lot. And if I did anything, you would hear it. I celebrated real hard.
Yeah.
And that probably annoyed the heck out of the other team. But
You're a good passer.
sure, I had some decent passing and decent defense. But yeah, definitely a small person game for me. Really enjoyed my time playing with you. And then we were rivals in college.
Oh yeah.
UC Davis, San Jose State, graduated, played on the same team again for Dragon Fire.
Yeah.
So it's been a good time. I've known this guy for a very long time. Super proud of all he's accomplished and what he's doing. Super cool to see this journey. And I just noticed, if you want to win 9-man nationals, you need to come to this restaurant and get some luck, because this is 888 Stockton Boulevard or Stockton Street. Wow, super
Dang,
good.
888.
This would probably cost you like millions of dollars to buy this address just for the number. They pay a lot for lucky numbers, for phone numbers in China. This is like prime
Dude,
real
let me
estate.
take it to another level.
Yeah.
Not only do we have 888,
Okay.
we have 8488 in the phone number.
8488. Dang.
This is
how
a
they
lotto
do it?
ticket
This
right here.
is-
If you go, you should take this menu, buy it from them, and then go get yourself a lotto ticket.
Actually, this is a pretty nice menu from one graphic designer to another.
So we both are graphic designers by trade,
Yeah.
and Chinese menus are notorious for having the worst. There's like 20 different fonts, 100 items per menu. It's just visually confusing, and unless you actually know what you're ordering, if you're a newcomer, it's impossible.
Spell check is optional, always.
If you're lucky, you can find some really interesting spelling milk teas here.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Usually scalding hot, so be careful. One thing I forgot to specify, they always ask you when you order it, it's hot or cold, and then you have to specify if you want to add condensed milk. I mean, some people, like the OGs, like my parents, they like to drink it without the condensed milk, but I like it sweeter.
I was okay with it. I am now over the hills. so
Yes, you are the elder.
makes me want to sing "Siu Dong Kung Fu." Oh yeah. I don't know if this is the right word to describe something liquidy, but it's got nice texture.
Yes.
Like it's you can't chew it obviously, but it stays on your palate a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we call wat day. Is like
What day? Okay.
it's like a film on your tongue, and
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
because they steep the crap out of this, so they steep it and they boil it. Then they do some
pull it?
yeah, they pull the tea. Then they boil it again. Then they pull the tea.
That's a lot of work.
Because traditionally for regular teas, you don't want to boil it because then then you don't want that texture.
Okay.
You end up extracting parts of the tea you don't want. But for some reason, the Hong Kong style milk tea, it gives it that depth. But it's exactly the fact that you said there's a texture to it is exactly why I like it, because it's more aromatic. I don't know if you smelled it when it came out,
Yeah.
but usually the Taiwanese style milk teas are made with creamer.
Okay.
And so this is condensed milk, just adds like a different dimension to it. And by the way, I only recommend if you're not used to drinking a lot of caffeine, 1 cup is plenty, and don't drink this after like 4 or 5. Unless you're an Asian dad that drinks this all day, this is super strong. You would think, okay, I could drink a whole large boba myself, but that's nowhere near as strong as this one.
Probably not gonna fall asleep tonight, so I'll just be editing this video.
By the way, I think this is a good time since we're talking over tea. I'm gonna share a little bit about your new YouTube channel.
Yeah, so my channel is called Jack Snacks, and the reason why I started this channel is because I eat a lot. I work out so I can eat food and enjoy life. My wife and I, we love eating, we love going out to eat, trying new restaurants. So come follow me in this journey as I eat across the Bay Area.
And especially if you like this style of editing, you're gonna like his videos. He's already got a bunch of videos on his YouTube channel and social medias that you can start enjoying right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini journey into San Francisco Chinatown. This is just the tip of the iceberg for all the amazing things that you can shop, eat, hang out, and enjoy your time here. Special thanks to Jack from Jack Snacks and my close volleyball friend for helping film and edit this. And good luck to all the teams at the 9-Man Nationals. Make sure you check us out on Labor Day weekend, September 1st at the Moscone Center, and we'll see you guys there.